Now let's get straight to it. Which might be the situations that jeopardize your healthy eating habits during your holidays, which may be Halloween, Dia de Muertos, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, Cinco de Mayo, or 4th of July, or any other festivities. You may be hosting or visiting people with different and not so healthy lifestyles. Then it may require traveling to get to your event. You also might encounter pushy people, the ones who can't pair healthy habits and try to drag you down with them. That sugary cake may really start calling out your name and you feel that you simply can't resist. And finally, you did cave in and don't know what to do with all the regret and physical ailments. By now, I've successfully surfed through 8 holiday seasons on a plant-based diet, one of which on Candida Cleanse and 3 living Candida free. And believe me, I've seen it all and I can't wait to share my tips and tricks with you. Now, first and foremost, to stay on board, try not to make your life too difficult by pursuing perfection. Remember, it's all about being together with your loved ones and not about fighting over food. I'd say one of the most important things is to care about your guests. When you are the host, ask people whether there's something they don't eat and make sure to have at least one dish without it. Also, encourage people to bring whatever they want to eat. Set rules. If you want your kids to avoid sugary sweets and oily salty foods, ask your guests politely not to bring any conventional sweet treats, crisps, and sugary drinks into your home. Make your food visually appealing. Use different textures as well, like something creamy, hummus, with something crunchy, like raw peeled and cut veggies and whole grain crackers or toasted whole grain bread, with something hearty looking like risotto, lasagna, pasta, pie, or a stew, and then something light and leafy like green salad. Now, be sneaky with your ingredients. I mean, not everyone has an open mind about novelty, so try not to disclose the ingredients before the guests have actually tasted the food. When they have already commented on how good everything tastes, then you can reveal the contents, if they're interested. Accommodate different palates. We all have different taste buds, so no matter how you think the food tastes, be sure to have salt and pepper on hand. For example, I have a friend who rubs salt on any dish before even tasting it, and that's her choice. My first tip is to eat before you go. Yes, you heard that right. Or bring your own foods. If you visit a carnivore friend or a family member who won't prepare anything special for you, simply eat before you go or bring your own foods to contribute. People actually will appreciate this. It's so easy to prepare and take foods like raw candies, muffins, cookies, raw cut veggies, hummus, guacamole, nut spreads, whole grain crackers and bread, or even a dish like lasagna, risotto, casserole, curry. Gather your information beforehand. Let's say there's a set menu for the event. Simply ask the host about it and see whether you can combine a meal for yourself. And if not, turn to the previous tip. Don't be demanding. When your host is considerate enough and asks you about your eating habits, don't go crazy by ordering a 3-course, oil-free, plant-based, perfectly balanced meal. Instead, emphasize you are not coming for the food, but for the good company. Ask for simple things like a salad and tomatoes without dressing, cut veggies and canned beans. If the host really wants to cook something you'll enjoy, then a good and easy option is whole grain pasta with tomato sauce and beans. And always, a good rule is to offer to bring something yourself so that the host doesn't have to bother too much. And one of the most important things is to be considerate of other people. The big thing about visiting is to remember not to disapprove or be patronizing towards other people's eating habits and lifestyle. It's their choice, and they will change only if they want to change. I personally learned this the hard way, but you don't have to. Maybe you need to take a road trip, a plane or train to get to your holiday event. No worries. Now, if you're traveling by car, make sure you pack as much as you can for the road. Along your route, visit grocery stores and you can prepare simple meals without any cooking. Also, many service stations will surprise you at what they sell. Now, if you're traveling by plane, some airlines will let you pre-order a vegan meal. However, these are often very expensive, small, and contain loads of salt, sugar, and oil. To avoid the extra cost on your wallet and waistline, cook and pack meals at home prior to takeoff. My favorite traveling foods include oatmeal. You can take the dry mix with you and ask hot water to pour over it once in air, and it's also a good option for road trip or train bus ride. Then pre-cooked grains and canned beans, with which you can easily combine a balanced meal, adding some ready-to-use sauce. Watch those ingredients though, especially oil and salt. Then fresh fruits, berries and vegetables, whole grain cookies and crackers, energy balls, energy bars, bliss balls, nut seeds and dried fruit, berries, vegetables, hummus. Then tea bags, especially if you're into herbal teas. Take with you some chamomile and peppermint. It's usually easier to get black or green tea on the road. Organic broth powder is excellent for whipping up a comforting and warming drink. And finally, herbs and spices like turmeric, ginger, and cinnamon to add to your oatmeal or even to prepare a warming latte or a tea. Moving on to dealing with people who are determined to drag it down with them. They simply can't understand how someone can enjoy themselves without drinking any alcohol or eating unhealthy foods. Do you have those people in your life? I certainly do. Important thing is, don't let anyone push you off the wagon. Remember, your health is the most important thing. So don't eat food just to please others. It doesn't make sense and you know it. Reach out to your hosts before the event. Talk to them about the change in your diet and the reasons behind it. Make them understand that it's not about attacking their habits, but about you feeling better and being happier. Describe the changes you have already experienced and how much better you feel. Furthermore, ask for their support. For example, ask them to support you through this journey, or tell them how much you'd appreciate if they supported you getting healthy. Now, I don't imagine anyone would refuse such a request. If they do, they are most probably not your best friends. Bring your own dishes that you can also share with others. Don't expect the host to accommodate your dietary restrictions. It can be really overwhelming for them. And finally, assure the hosts that you are there because of them and other guests. It's about enjoying the time together and not that much about the food. Of course, it's important, but food shouldn't be the centerpiece of the event. What if you yourself have strong cravings and feel like you won't be able to resist? Remember why you started eating the way you do in the first place. Embrace the positive changes and don't let go of them. Visualize your body and mindset prior to your lifestyle changes. Would you like to go back there, feeling the way you did? When you feel tempted to grab that piece of sugar cake, imagine very vividly how you'd feel after eating it. How many minutes would your pleasure last before it gets substituted with physical ailments and regret? This is what works the best with me, knowing that I'd feel miserable for even days after just 5 minutes of munching on that crappy cake, let's be honest. The moment I visualize that, the cake becomes really unappealing. You should try that. Another way to keep those cravings at bay is to prepare plenty of healthy treats whenever there's a gathering, so that you don't have to drool over other people's not so healthy treats. I'm talking about brownies, muffins, bliss balls, and even cakes. Let's say that an unexpected wave managed to push you off the board and you had that sugary cake. Now what? The worst thing to do would be to waste your energy on feeling guilty. It's done. You are underwater or soaked. You can't change that. Now, I absolutely don't mean that this would justify binge eating. On the contrary, this is where you need to stop and look forward. Acknowledge that it happened, make peace with your body, and promise to treat it better from that moment on. To keep your blood sugar spike from climbing too high, go for a brisk walk. 5-10 minutes is enough, but remember it needs to be brisk. Even though you'll be able to blunt that spike to some extent, you won't prevent your blood sugar from climbing a bit too high, resulting in blood sugar low later. To make that easier on you, snack on raw veggies or other low glycemic foods in order to stabilize your system. Take probiotics before you go to bed, and most importantly, start fresh the next day with a huge glass of warm lemon water, exercise, and nourishing food. A few things that are important to remember throughout the holidays. Try to take the focus off the food by engaging in conversations or initiating a fun game that doesn't involve eating. Have you noticed how small children barely eat at parties? They are so engaged in all the playing that's going on that they don't even have any time for food. Very important. Don't forget to drink water, lots of water. It will keep you hydrated, and it's like that wave under your surfboard that will carry you forward. Don't let holidays become an excuse to let exercise slip. Simply stay active. It can be as simple as taking the stairs whenever you can and having those long walks every day. And most importantly, enjoy the food that you are eating and the time together with your family and friends.